look at that. We got our first d4 game. So d5 against 2015, and the Queen's Gambit accepted finally makes its debut. So knight f3, that's the one exception where we don't get to play e5, so we have to play knight f6. And then g3, I think g3 was another one of these side moves. And if I'm not mistaken, we want to play knight c6. And when they play bishop g2, we really insist on e5. Because you get the tricks like with the trade of queens, pull the king over, and then knight g4 attacks f2. So I don't believe this is a trainable, but I think that is correct. It feels right to me. Because like we say in the whole premise is, even though white plays d4 on move 1, I really want to play pawn e5. So this is another case where we get to do that. So takes, they have to take, and then yeah, we're attacking f2, which is the most important, but we're also able to regain the pawn on e5, which, by the way, we are still up a pawn on c4. Might not last forever, but if they have to spend their time thinking about that pawn, that should be helpful. And that looks like they may have just missed that knight takes f2 works. I don't see how there could be anything better. And 8 moves, okay. Well, that's another big point for our repertoire. So, g3, yeah, 8% move, so I think that was enough to reference it, just not to train it. So, Queen's Gambit accepted with knight f3, knight f6, and yes, definitely g3, knight c6 is correct, with e5, takes, knight g4. But they are supposed to play king to e1, and I do notice that quite a few players actually do not notice that knight takes f2 is that much of a threat. I bet they don't all resign right away, but you do have some other bishop f4s, along with, yeah, king e1 we would expect. Rook f1, I guess, is also okay, just the king stays a little more exposed, but yeah, king e1, at worst, we just take back that pawn. And we would have had a pretty good game, I think, but they did not. So let me take a quick look with the engine. So e5, you can see, great move, already pushes an advantage for black. If you're looking at some of the scores here, if we don't do that, white is doing really well, like plus 20% margins most of the way. A little surprised e5 is only about 50-50, actually, but still much better than all of the other moves. And then, yeah, I think we just generalized. I know I saw the arrow in the repertoire that, in general, yeah, we just take here and we'd be happy, but most importantly, if they take that pawn, then yeah, this is immediately quite good for black. So king e1, yeah, I did note bishop c5 is possible if you really want to point to this pawn first, but there's also nothing wrong with just grabbing the pawn back and having a good position anyways. Bishop f4, knight takes f2, yeah, healthy minus 3.5. Let's say king. Either way, we take that. What do I think? Probably bishop e6 first, unless I want to think about knight g5. I might have started h6, just so we can set that bishop there comfortably. But then I think we can pretty happily castle queenside. These pawns are still really bad, especially the one on e5, blocks this bishop. This pawn I don't think is going to be easy for them to win back. If you see something like knight c3, bishop e6. They can stop me castling this way, but then I'm sure we just move this bishop and go the other way. So very good for black, obviously, in terms of material, but I think also positionally there is an added effect to that. So I think I'm going to post this because 8 move wins are great for selling the strength of our repertoire. That was bishop f4, knight takes f2. Let me check quickly, actually. Was it 8 moves or 9 moves, our very first game? So I remember there was that French game way at the start. Not the Blitz games. The first rapid game was 9 moves. So you know what? I think this might be our fastest game. No, I did mention actually this one. I played it off screen. That one I didn't upload. But I also won a game in 7 moves. So this was the first game, which was this French. So you can go check out, I think, the very first video, the 5-minute one, where they were just down a pawn, didn't feel like playing. And then this was the one that I did not post, where it was going to be a Smith-Morra. I believe in retrospect, actually, d6 is our correct move here, but I played knight c6 first, but then they played bishop f4. We took that, and there was that. So got a few of these quick ones, but Queen's Gambit, very quick debut. So, hope you enjoyed our short little video today, and we'll see you for a longer game next time.